3, 2, 1, live. It can still pick us up. will be in a second.
And we are live, everyone. We are live. And I know right now this is a very unorthodox setup and things are looking weird. Right now we are managing as best as we can in the room, but the good news is we got some decent Wi-Fi. How you doing, everybody? I'm just gonna put myself. I'm going to put myself on Twitch right here, right now, just so I can keep an eye, because I'm going to be going off camera in about half an hour, just so that I can keep an eye on everything here. How is everyone tonight? We have had already some freaky stuff happen.
Truth.
All right, I'm looking at the stream right now, and it's looking pretty decent. There we go. Okay, so first off, Cassie. My dad is number 2 on top gifting. Oh my God! How you doing there, Cassie? Good to see you. Green Boy, good to see you. Kat, how are you? It's great to see you all here. Earlier, Mike, I know you did earlier this afternoon. You did oh, and there she is, Twitch Mom, resubbing for 25 months.
All right, and I think we're gonna make sure.
Yeah,
we're watching
our
we don't
voices.
want anyone coming knocking and saying.
No, we don't.
Hey, you weirdos.
What the hell are you doing?
Like, we're using the rose petals you left us.
Yeah.
Because that's right, we did left some very beautiful rose petals on our bed because this is the romance package.
Yeah.
The paranormal package.
Not that they're not leaning into the paranormal here. They're not leaning.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those of you who missed it earlier, there is a multi already set up. So the best. So give me a second here, and I'll make sure to get that back in there. But
I've been very quiet.
Oh, and Cassie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. What's that?
Quietly.
You can go quietly. Can you quietly reach the restroom?
Oh yeah.
All right. Don't.
It's my job.
Yeah, there we go. Don't get too excited when Phil sets off the motion sensor. We're gonna clean all this up. We're gonna get into it at midnight. At midnight, it's lights out, and but I think it's worth mentioning that right as we went live, Phil said the EMF reader just went off.
Yeah, like 2 minutes before we kicked on the cameras, it spiked on us. And earlier, we already had interactions on the REM pod, so fingers crossed.
Oh, it's Connie. Okay, Connie. Well, I'm just seeing Cassie Universe, so I just automatically assume Cassie. But Connie, thank you for joining us, and again, thank you very much. Corded, thank you for the follow earlier. Do appreciate it. And again, Mike, thank you for the sub. So right now we are managing. All the elements right now. As I said earlier, we do have a multi set up. So if you want to see both my stream and Phil's stream at the same time, go on ahead and just pay us a visit at that multi that I just dropped in there. If there's a problem with that multi, please let me know. I will be able to monitor from not my phone in just a moment. And let me tell you something, we are so stoked about tonight. Okay, so first off, what happened tonight? So first off, right before we got here, if we seem a little wired, we went out. Across the street from us is an abandoned smokestack, like a warehouse. Looked perfect, looked absolutely perfect for some steampunk shoot. For a steampunk shoot many moons ago, but right now the place has been gutted.
Yeah, and that was the former power plant for this.
So it was a former power plant.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so basically, yeah, that power plant was part of the Western State Asylum, and that is where we are right now. It is now called the Blackburn Inn. They are not leaning in to their paranormal. They are not leaning in any way, shape, or form to paranormal activity. They are trying to make this a bit of a business site. They want to make it a place where people aren't dwelling on the past. But here's the thing. Some really bad shit went down here. Some really, really bad stuff went down here. And what they don't necessarily tell you is there is this very nondescript road that if you just walk down it, if you literally walk down this road and just follow it, it ends at a cemetery. And for those of you who saw the earlier test stream, which involved both Phil Rossi's wife and my wife, Twitch Mom, we were basically walking and filming and trying to make communication with whomever was there, whomever was with us. We've recorded stuff. We haven't found anything in real time. Doing EVPs in real time is kind of tricky. It's kind of a tricky thing to do. So So where we went after you all left, we've basically been walking around the grounds for a bit.
True.
Yeah. Phil also set up the REM pod in our room, and we had a few pings on the REM pod. So
and they did seem to be interacting with us on some level.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we've had some activity in the room already, and hopefully we're going to be able to recreate that. We're pretty stoked about it. But the place where we went across the street, it's basically the abandoned power plant for the Blackburn, what was Western State Asylum. And there was definitely something a little ominous there, just a little ominous. We went there. We didn't go into the property, and we did not want to go into the property. There were open doors. We could have gone in if we wanted to, but it just didn't feel right. And Phil and I found a little alleyway connected with this power plant, and we started doing some EVPs there. We started to walk away from it, and Phil actually got a spike on his EMF reader as we were walking away. So we went back, did some EVP sessions in the dark, and it was the longest 2 minutes we've spent in Stanton so far. It was pretty intense. Got tired of looking at your sexy back. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that, monkey. Don't worry. You'll see my front in about 22 minutes. 22 minutes. Phil is right now, as you can see. Phil is right now moving around. He's getting a few other things taken care of. He's got his camera set up. I've got my camera set up, and we're actually going to spend. So we're doing things a lot differently here than we did at Belgrove. For one thing, since we're in Stanton, Virginia, we have a lot better Wi-Fi connection. As you all can tell, things are moving here a little smoother. Things seem to be a little more stable. And if we're given a ping saying, hey, you guys are using too much internet, well, we can always go to this. So we're not too concerned about the internet connection here. Secondly, Phil has this incredible hack with this particular camera. This camera is already infrared night vision ready, and when we shut down the lights, you'll see. Now it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be the final camera that we have for this for these occasional live paranormal events, but it's really solved some issues. But as you can see, we're going to have this is my original vision for when we did Belgrove, I wanted to have infrared in the room. I wanted to have one camera on the flux, which is back behind me. And this is a response device, just so you all know. This is a response device. If you look in the top corner, you'll see that if something gets close to it, it's going to go off. But the other thing about it too is that because it's got a red and a green light, if we get some positive hits on it, then we will be able to actually have yes/no conversations with it. Now, I've had it work really well in some other investigations that I have not streamed. We had some terrific success with it in Gettysburg. And if everything works out well, in January, we are going to be joined by the Ghoulie Girls, and the Ghoulie Girls will go with us to Gettysburg sometime in January, and we're going to have a private paranormal investigation at the Homestead Orphanage, correct?
That's wow.
Yes. Yeah, Homestead Orphanage.
That's right, Fox.
That's exactly right. So we've got 20 minutes until it's lights out, and what we wanted to do is spend this half hour. That's the other thing we wanted to do too. If you remember at Belgrove, we had some technical difficulties, and it made things extremely tense when we tried to start it off. The good news was though that we created for this for Phasmo for Real something we call campfire mode, where we pretty much just hung out around the campfire, and it was it worked out really well. So we want to open up this session with a little more chill. So we decided to start the stream at 11:30 as opposed to 11:45. We're still going to do lights out at midnight. What we want to hear from you all, we want to know your thoughts and your questions. We want you to, ask us the tough questions, like, are you guys really wasting your time doing this? How do what do you guys, what is the gain of this, etc., etc. We want to talk to you about this. So if you've got questions for us, feel free to ask in Phil's stream, feel free to ask in my stream.
We are monitoring both streams here this evening.
Both streams.
I think, as we kind of ease in here this evening, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the gear that I have, that I love. I think there's a misconception when you're watching some of these ghost hunter type shows that, wow, I can't afford this kind of gear. I can't buy these digital recorders. This digital recorder right here, excuse me, you gotta plug it in. This little EV Star digital recorder, I've caught some of my best EVPs on this device. This cost me about $30, and it is my go-to digital recorder. I love it because small footprint. I can slide it into the pocket of any pants that I'm wearing. I have to be wearing pants to put it in the pocket, but typically when we go out in these investigations, I make sure that I'm wearing pants. The sound quality is great. Transferring files off of it, again, great. So this is definitely one of my favorite devices. This is an EMF reader. A little bit different than the K2, for example. It's the K2 just has the colored LEDs, and there's a sticker on it that gives a rough range. I like this because I can see the values of the spikes. You can set an alarm on this, so if you exceed a certain threshold, a tone will sound. And I think this was again only about $40. You can't really tell right now, but you can light the display up so you can see it in the dark, which obviously, when you're creeping around in the dark.
We actually used that at that smokestack place we just came back from. We actually did use that.
So when we were at the smokestack, you heard T talking about that earlier. This is the device that spiked. It wasn't a huge spike. It wasn't like a 10, but pretty much everywhere it's been reading 0. I had a couple spikes in the building today, but it wasn't until, and also at the graveyard had some spikes on it too, but it was continually rising and falling at the power plant. So that inspired Tina to say, hey, why don't we go back? And we did, and it got very tense, very fast. And the pictures that I posted on Instagram betray just how dark it was back there. It was.
Additionally, something I think is worth mentioning. As we're crossing the street, Phil happened to look down at that K2 meter, and it turned out that it was starting to rise up again.
Yes.
And
so in some very strong words, I said, "Do not follow us."
Yeah.
And it dropped.
It's one of these things. It's one of these things that I have a bad habit about not doing. When you're doing these paranormal investigations, one of the things that you kind of have to get across to the whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever it is you're facing, is that you're not doing a tour service. You're not giving the spirits any sort of rite of passage back to wherever you go.
Right.
You're just not. That is off the table. And so that's one of the things that you have to. Real quick, if anybody keeps go back to Twitch on Phil's, it's for some reason the multi does that, but after a while it kind of chills out. So just keep trying.
Keep trying.
Yeah, just keep trying. So one of my favorite devices is this one right here, which you see. This was my first ghost device. This is called the Flux 2. And what the Flux 2 does is that it doubles as a temperature sensor as well as a motion sensor, and it also works as a response device.
If they are just a few pounds.
Yeah, there you go. And what happens is that it detects motion, and along with motion, it'll also go off if temperature changes are detected. And then finally, you can actually tell if there is some presence there. If there is an entity around, you can basically go, hey, green means yes, red means no. Or green means female, red means male. And then you start coming up with very simple yes, no,
There it is. Now it's the thing.
And
that's my booty.
That's
my booty.
That's Phil's beautiful booty.
Booty means yes.
Yeah, booty
Always.
means yes. Booty means yes. No, but here's one thing I want to throw out there to folks is that oh crap.
At least it wasn't from 200 feet.
At least it wasn't from 200 feet.
I don't know how that fell. That seemed like that was on that table pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It was not. Hey, good evening. Good evening, Rick. Good evening. It's them trying to run an ad on the multi. That's a possibility as well. That is a possibility as well. But one of the things I want to make sure we get across to people is we are not here to convince you that we approve and that ghosts exist. That is not the aim of this. I'm gonna go on ahead and turn it over to Phil and let Phil talk a little bit about what it is we're trying to accomplish by doing these albums.
There's a few goals we have when we go out and we do these investigations. First and foremost, again, we're not set out to prove anything because the amount of data, let's say if you think of this in a strictly scientific sense, the amount of data you need to prove anything is astounding.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just something that is impossible. No matter how many good EVPs you capture, photos, devices going off, you're not going to get there. So that's definitely not the goal. I always say our goal in going out on these investigations, one, is to
Well, apparently, Kat's goal is your booty.
Odds are there will be some booty shots.
And we're done. Thank you for joining us tonight.
T and I are storytellers, and part of our goal is coming to these places where some of these stories may have been forgotten and having the opportunity to share the stories of these locations, of the people who worked here, the people who were, for example, here, patients here, who lived here, who unfortunately died here. Tell the stories that have been forgotten, if you will. So, being storytellers, goal number 1. Goal number 2, connecting with whatever energy may be there. It's a beautiful thing to she's making a mess over here. To be able to reach out to something beyond yourself, beyond your understanding, and try to create some kind of connection. And if you are indeed connecting with the spirits, it's a powerful concept.
And if you're lucky enough,
and
if you're lucky enough to make that kind of connection, that is that's one of the big things. It's also I'm not going to lie, it's also just a great way to connect with friends. We're having fun.
That's exactly where I was going. I think and the other goal is just that being present in the moment, being with the people you love to spend time with, doing things that are cool, playing with gadgets that are cool.
Oh my god, gadgets are ridiculous.
And then testing your personal limits.
And personal comfort zones, zones. Before I forget though, Chad, one thing that we did not plan on, and I think it's worth mentioning on this stream because you know us from the game, today marks the 1-year anniversary of Phasmophobia.
Yeah, which is far out.
We did not plan that. We did not plan to have this air, to go live on this stream with that. But sure enough, this is the 1-year anniversary of Phasmophobia. And I remember seeing that just before Phil got here, and I'm like, are you serious? Because I think Phil and I actually started playing Phasmophobia a week after it had come out. Because I remember you told me about it. You said, new game, it's available for VR. And I said, I'll give it a shot. And of course, as many of you know, Belle just went, "Happy birthday, Phaz!"
Happy birthday.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But honestly, I had no idea, had no clue that was happening today.
Mm-hmm.
But as I like to tell people, when I tell people that I've been doing this thing since July with Phil, I just said, well, here's the thing: have I proven that ghosts exist? No. And I don't think I can prove that ghosts exist. I don't think I can prove that there is an afterlife. I don't think I can prove any of that. Has some extremely incredible things happen to me. Not just to me, but to my wife, to my kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have had some incredible experiences.
Yeah.
And the only if I had any regret about this, I feel like the most incredible stuff happens when we're not streaming it. And so
which is true.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. This and some of the stuff is very subjective. It is very subjective. And
Dan, thank you for the follow.
It's your experience.
Right. And that's really what this is. This is about your own unique experience with it. This is about your what it is, what it is that you're enjoying from this experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's been an absolute joy, just getting out and not only getting into the history. And that was one of the reasons why I put the history under the tags. Is there's just incredible history behind some of the places that we've gone. Now we've actually got some facts about this particular place, about Belgrove. Sorry, not Belgrove. About what?
We're in the wrong location.
The wrong location. Yeah. The music and setup in game spooked me because I wasn't expecting it loading in. Very nice. Well, but what I was saying was the Blackburn Inn, aka the Western State Asylum, has some pretty intense history behind it. And we're about 6 minutes out to lights out, so I thought it would be good if we did a little bit of high-level history.
Yeah. I mean, I've been living this place all week.
Yeah.
I have been living Western State Lunatic Asylum all week.
So to give you an idea, though, just to give you an idea, chat, of how how hard they are not leaning into this. All of the literature they have here, they refer to the Western State Hospital. The word asylum is never used. Lunatic asylum, never used. It's the Western State Hospital, which I had this talk with Phil about this on the way out here. I was just like, I think that's a missed opportunity for these guys, because they opened just around the time that the lockdown started to occur. So what?
By the way, chat, I just restarted my stream because I was dropping some frames, so I changed my. I didn't realize I was still streaming at high def, still 1080.
Yeah. I made that adjustment.
Yeah. So I just adjusted.
Just made that adjustment. We're good. Phil's stream is back up.
Oh, that looks so much better. Okay.
And we do have a multi.
My drop frames 38%. Yeah, there is a multi. So if you want to see the various angles of the room, if you want to see my awesome Naruto shirt, then hop on that multi.
So we are. So what can we tell you about the Western State Asylum? Founded in 1828.
Yep. So it was officially opened its doors on 1828. I believe construction began in 1825.
Right. It was designed by a guy named Blackburn, who actually helped build Monticello.
Yes.
He designed Monticello.
Yep.
And you see a lot of that influence.
You absolutely do.
You really do.
What's interesting too about the construction of Western State was that the man that became the first superintendent of Western State Lunatic Asylum, Dr. Stribling, worked very closely with Thomas Blackburn on the architecture and the building of the site.
We're going to post some pictures on the Don't Turn Around podcast, which you can find on Spotify. You can find that on Apple Podcasts. You can find that on Stitcher. You can find it on Google Play. It's a terrific listen, and I'm not saying that because I'm the most recent show. I'm saying that because it is a terrific listen, and this is how it all started. It basically started from Phasmophobia to Don't Turn Around to Phil saying, "Do we really want to try this?" And it's
quite the evolution.
It's been quite an adventure. No, we don't have a ding to go with it. I'm sorry, we do not have a ding to go.
Ding. Maybe the spirits can help us with that tonight.
Hospital sounds less intimidating than a lunatic asylum. That's very true.
Oh yeah.
And but as far as but again, feel free to ask us any questions about this place, about the investigation. Feel free to ask when we start the investigation.
And I do want to note that at one point in its history it was known as Western State Hospital.
It was. It was. So they're not necessarily lying. They're just not leaning in as far as they could.
Right.
So when they started with, and what was the original administrator's name? You said it was
Dr. Stribling.
Dr. Stribling. Stribling was a real pioneer. He was a real pioneer in this entire way to approach mental health, especially for the 1800s, especially for that later part of the 19th century. It was revolutionary. He basically said, we need to treat these people. We need to treat these people like people. Yes, they are ill, but we need to remember they are people first and foremost.
Yeah. And it's
go ahead.
It was started with
the best of intentions.
And for many years, that's how this place was run. But then right around the time of the Civil War, things changed, and they changed rapidly.
Very rapidly.
Stribling only felt that there should be 200 patients or so in the hospital. And quickly it grew to 600, and they didn't have space, and they quickly started to expand the property, and the treatment of the patients really declined. And then you get into the early 1900s when
Dr. Joseph Desjardins enters the picture. And to say this guy is a monster is an insult to monsters. And the good news is we can start talking about Desjardins when we get to lights out, because it is now 11:59.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to refill my water.
All right.
Maybe I'll do another Rev 9.
I think Rev 3.
Rev 9 is when you count 3 at once. And we're going lights out. But,
All right. So first things first, I'm going to start.
Figure this stuff.
I'm going to. Yeah, we're gonna. Let me get rid of
I'm
this.
gonna hit record on that H4.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit record on mine as well. That was you, I think. Just navigating around the tripod. Huh.
No, I don't think that was me.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Alright. Okay.
Alright, restroom. And we'll be going down.
Hang on. Okay, we're
Well, let me make sure I actually hit record on H4 too
Okay.
when I come back
Alright.
out.
I'm going to also stop the music chat. Stop the music. Now I am stepping out a frame in my feed, but you will actually see me in Phil Rossi's feed. Hi, how you doing, everybody? Salt for protection. Thank you, Panic. Thank you, Panic. It's great to have you all here. Phil will be hitting lights out in just a moment. And in the meantime, let me go on ahead and tell you a little bit about Digernet. A devout Presbyterian, Digernet supported the temperance movement, believed that sterilizing people with certain traits he believed to be hereditary would prevent these traits from being passed on to future generations. To this class of the unfit belong the insane, the epileptic, the alcoholic, hereditary criminal, the syphilitic, the imbecile, and the idiot, and none of these should reproduce. Digernet wrote, if proper steps be taken, the unfit can be made to grow annually smaller and finally disappear entirely from our registers. So basically, chat, if he thought you were unfit, if he thought you were one of the degenerates, well then, guess what?
Guess what?
You're out of the pool.
Bad things are happening.
Bad things are happening. Severely bad things. Again, everybody, just wanted to throw this out here. We do have a multi going on in case you're like, it feels a little surreal being at T's stream but not seeing T. That's okay because I'm actually hanging out on Phil's stream right now. And for those of you who are my mods, Kat, for Panic, everybody, thank you very much for hanging out. You know what? If you would pass me a Rev 3, I would love one.
Sure, want Rev 6?
Or a Rev 9 for that matter. By the time we finish them, it will be the Rev 3, Rev 6, and Rev
We're
9.
not sleeping until Tuesday.
Yeah, we probably not. Again, don't get excited about that just yet. Don't get excited about that just yet because we're still very much in the way of things. One of the things that I think that one of the other changes that we made between this particular investigation and the one we did at Belgrove chat was that we didn't give, I don't think we gave the flux enough space.
Yeah.
In fact, I might even, before we
No,
go,
moving
before we
forward.
go,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I
Yeah. All right. Here's your. I'm putting this on your chair, so don't sit on it.
Yeah, that's me. I know, that's me. And that's me again. Yes, I got it. Okay. Are you ready for lights out?
Oh, I was gonna check to make sure.
Oh man. Eugenics. It was a scary and widespread. Yeah, Dan. It was. This guy was. Did you catch that, Phil?
Catch what?
We just got a hit on the flux.
No.
We did. Can you do that again?
I just got the chills. All right.
Can you do that again?
All my hair's on end right now.
And we got it on stream.
All my hair's on end, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Oh crap! And guess what?
What?
It was just out of sight. Okay, lights out. Hit it.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you're gonna need that.
Then hit it. Nope, no, I'm not. Okay. We are go. Yes, we are, Dr. Andy. Yes, we are. We are.
That's
Now
me,
that's
by the way.
Phil.
me.
That's Phil. That's
Yeah.
Phil. And here's a bit of trivia that Phil has taught me about. This is what he,
That's not
we got a spirit tuning into the stream. It seems. Well, here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing, Chad. Something that Phil taught me is that the preferred term is not ghost hunting, even though a lot of people use ghost hunting. Oh, you clicked it on Phil's stream for the flux hit. Oh, because you.
Oh,
Did
so
it
you
just-
caught it? Did it hit again?
I don't know. I thought I heard it, but it
I
didn't.
thought I
It
heard-
did. No, it didn't go because remember it stays on there for like. Oh, I'm bringing friends over. This is fascinating. See you in a minute. Okay, thank you, Andy. Thank you, Dr. Andy. I appreciate that.
The doctor.
A doctor. So anyway, so what I was saying was that
Yeah, riff
people
for a minute, 'cause
people
I have
prefer
an
the term. Well, I'm sorry. What was that?
idea.
Phil?
I said, you riff. I have an idea. I just got to run into the other room while you're chit chatting.
All right. So one of the things. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Random. So one of the things that I've heard that Phil was telling me, right? He was telling me that it is preferred to call it a paranormal investigation as opposed to a ghost hunt, because you don't want to hunt anything in a ghost hunt. You know, you don't want to hunt anything on an investigation. You just want to have a straight up, like, just a paranormal investigation. What is that?
That's my headlamp.
Oh, that's your headlamp. Okay. And so we try to use the term ghost investigation or paranormal investigation, but as Phil put it, he said, T, it's about intention.
Right.
It's about intention, and that's what we're doing here. Okay, so I saw that hit earlier. I saw it hit earlier go green while Phil was in the other room. So I want to ask real quick. Are we alone right now? Is there anyone with us? If you are close by, go up to that blue light and make it change a color, green or red. And here's where it gets tricky, Chad. You basically have to play a waiting game.
That's it. I mean, that is the thing here.
It is a waiting game. And I'm going to try and clip stuff, but I missed something. Can someone clip it for the guys to use for later? Well, Random, I'm sure we got people in chat who can take that on, and I appreciate that, Random, that you're on top of it. You are the clip master. As I said earlier, though, we were also talking about history. So I want to talk again a little bit about Digernet, because it was while I was reading about Digernet and talking about him that we got the hit on the flux. So let me try this again.
Well, let's.
Oh, sorry.
Let me pause for 1 minute here.
Okay, cool.
And we're going to roll it back a little bit. And let's set the intention, right? So,
Right.
if there are any spirits in this room, any spirits in this building, on this property, we are reaching out to you humbly and with respect. We would like to connect with you tonight. We would like to be able to share your story. So please join us here in this room tonight. We mean you no harm. Our intentions are only good. So if there is someone here with us, please give us a sign. Are there any patients here with us? I just saw a spike on my digital recorder, a sizable spike on the meter, so I may have caught something. Was this your room, perhaps?
Hopefully not to break the mood. Dr. Andy, thank you for the raid of 23.
Wow.
Highly unexpected. Thank you so much. Welcome, Raiders. You are, in fact, watching a paranormal investigation underway. And thank you, everybody, for joining me. I am T. Morris. This is my friend Phil Rossi. Together, we make Phasmo for Real, which is going to probably be rebranded as Ghost Dads, because we're getting our wives.
Ghost wives like that.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have a multi going on, so if you want to get a full view of the room and the different devices that we have set up, feel free to go on ahead and take a look at that multi.
That would be fantastic. And I think in the future, and I don't know if this Mac, well, this is a newer Mac, right?
Yeah.
What you could always do as well, it's not tonight, obviously, but you could always do a window capture, browser opened to my stream.
That's true.
We are not doing that tonight.
No.
We feel very good.
Dr. Andy just said, I told you I was bringing friends over. Maybe we are the sign you're waiting for. Cheers to you then.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Andy.
Thank you, Dr. Andy. Dr. Andy's in the house. And we do appreciate the raid. We really do. Ghost Facers.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, yeah, the some of the other things that we wanted to mention is that we are going to be hosting this investigation for the next few hours in our room, and then because of how good the signal strength is,
Let the chat know that I'm about to set this off. I don't know if I turned IR on my camera here. I did not, nor did I hit record.
Well, we're planning to not only continue with investigation here in the room, we're also going to take this investigation on the road. We're actually going to be taking you guys out and about. So that is the plan. That is the game plan. But thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And thank you. Thank you, everybody. So if you have any questions, by the way, if you have any questions for me about my stream or about Phil and Phil's stream,
Phil's going into the other room
what
for me
we're
to
doing,
get another tripod.
then by all means, feel free to ask. That's another reason why we're here. We want to try to educate people and help people understand what it is we're doing. We are not in any way, shape, or form out to prove that ghosts exist. We just wanted to do this because we thought it'd be a hell of a fun thing to do because we love phasmophobia. And it winds up that we are doing this investigation on the 1-year anniversary of Phasmophobia. So if you've got a glass, please raise a glass to the developers over at Kinetic Games and give thanks for Phasmophobia because we love the game. We do. We love it. All right, so we're going to try a few more questions out here. Set the tone. Is there anyone here with us right now? If yes, go to those blue lights and please touch one of them. You did it earlier. I saw you do it. And we would love to see you do that again for the people on stream. This was the most interesting thing on our follow list at the end of our show tonight, so we came over to see what it's about. And yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year, Dragon. It has been a year. It has been a year.
And here's this thing.
And thank you, Andy. Thank you again, Andy.
In regards to the Flux 2 stream, it doesn't just go off.
No.
Willy-nilly.
No.
Unless we're messing with it.
Right.
So the fact that we got a hit in here is a very encouraging sign.
It's a very encouraging sign.
That might be the only hit we get in this room tonight. I'm not saying that's going to be the case. I don't feel like that's going to be the case, but
yeah. It's just the thing about paranormal investigation is that it is a waiting game, and that's the toughest part. You just have to have patience, and the even tougher bit is when you are in investigations, you're getting recordings. You may not have anything happen in real time. You go back and you review the stuff that you recorded, and you're like, that didn't happen there.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So.
Okay. So
Have you got some stuff prepared?
got a little stuff here.
Okay.
So right now, chat, we're gonna focus a little on the spirits here for a few minutes.
Yeah.
There's a few names I want to ask if they are humans.
I'd like to. Can I go on ahead though? I would like to go on ahead and do this. That's exactly what I'm about to do, Dan. Dan says you got the spike when you mentioned eugenics. Maybe stir up some energy by
Go right ahead.
All right. So as we were talking earlier, the second administrator of this building was a guy by the name of Joseph Desjardins, Dr. Joseph Desjardins. If you've never heard that name, it's probably good, because let me tell you a little bit about him. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the flux there, Phil. In the early 1920s, Desjardins began lobbying intensively for the Commonwealth of Virginia to pass a compulsory sterilization law. He became so frustrated with his opponents in the Virginia Assembly that he said, when they voted against it, I really felt they ought to have been sterilized as unfit. When E. Lee Trinkle, a longtime political colleague of Strode and supporter of the eugenics movement, was elected governor of Virginia in 1922, Desjardins achieved an influential political supporter for his campaign. In order for the bill to pass the legislature, the men focused on changing public sentiment by broadening the public's knowledge of eugenic science and the laws of hereditary defect. Governor Trinkle released a report on critical financial condition of the Commonwealth. Within the report, Trinkle reported that one of the largest contributions to Virginia's dire financial state was the increased spending on institutionalizing what he called defectives. Trinkle advocated the compulsory sterilization law as a cost-saving strategy for public institutions that had experienced growth in the incarnation of what he referred to as feeble-minded and defective populations. Trinkle added that legalizing sterilization for the insane, epileptic, and feeble-minded persons would allow these patients to leave their institutions and not propagate their own kind. Virginia's Eugenical Sterilization Act was signed into law by Trinkle on March 20th, 1924. Desjardins, the guy who ran this institution, testified against Carrie Buck as an expert witness in the important eugenics case Buck versus Bell, in which the United States Supreme Court affirmed the constitutionality of Virginia's eugenics law in a case that has been questioned since, but never expressly overruled.
So I'll ask this. Is there an unfortunate patient with us that suffered under Dr. Desjardins? We're so sorry you had to suffer through that. But if you could let us know that you're here, and we can let you know, your story will be told, and you're not alone. You see the glowing blue lights there. If you just come close to them, you get the green or the red light to light up, and we can start there. There's a red light in that back room. If you're feeling a little bit shy, touch the red light in the back room. You know, we noticed that these rooms are very small. Did you feel trapped by these walls? Did these walls make you feel worse instead of better?
We don't want you to feel forgotten. That's one of the reasons why we're here right now. And we're sharing your story with a lot of other people. Please give us a sign that you're here, and give us a sign that you want to talk to us. I saw you. I saw you make that light go green. Do it again. Let us know you're here, because we want to share your story.
I feel like I saw a shadow move in the other room.
Yeah. We'll have to check your video then. We'll have to check your video.
But it was dark on dark because I don't see any shadows.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know what? Because there was something else I wanted to get out of the other room. I was going to go in the other room for a second.
Yeah.
Because and of course, this is the subjective part, guys. This is where you go on instinct, and I feel very much like there's something going on in the other room. And 6 months ago, if you asked me, would you go into that other room? I would say, hell no. Now I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm sensing something in the other room. And even though my skin is completely crawling right now.
You're going to go in there?
I'm going to go in there.
All right. You know, if you want, I could take that bullet and go in there, because you went up on the top of this. You could tell chat about the staircase thing.
All right. Yeah.
All right. You tell, because I don't think you should be the one.
Watch your step.
I don't watch my step. All right. You tell me
what you feel.
You tell chat. You tell chat what's going on here.
So when we went off the Belgrove plantation, there was the caretaker's house where we had a ton of activity, and it seemed at one point in the night was pretty responsive to me, and a lot of the activity was happening on the upper floor. And so I went up to the upper floor. It was totally dark up there, and whatever was up there had been setting off this motion sensor. And I asked, and it was quiet when I got up there. I heard some shuffling sounds and creaks in the other room. But once I got up there, I did ask, are you still here with me? can you make that music box go off again? And within seconds of saying that, music box went off, and of course, all my hair stood on end, and I didn't bail. I stuck it out. You could hear it in my voice on the recording that I get a little bit nervous, but I did stick it out, and that was a big moment for me. That was a very big moment for me. How you doing in there, T?
So far, so good.
Mm.
There's a little bit of temperature fluctuation, but not by a full degree. It's like 22.9 Celsius. And it's just floating around. I actually hear voices, but they're voices from outside.
Yeah.
That's something else you get real good at, Chad, is you basically learn when something is legit and when something's coming from outside or not.
He's gonna check out, see what the haps are outside.
I did open the window.
What's that?
I said I was gonna open the window. Yeah, that didn't open the window. Temperature went up by a degree.
Interesting.
I don't know if having a flashlight in here is a smart idea or not, but
Is there someone in the other room with T? Can you let him know that you're in there with him? We are also pretty convinced that something otherworldly did touch T earlier in the evening when we were at the top of the building at the cupola. And then when T returns, he can tell you a little bit more about that.
23.6 Celsius.
So he's taking some temperature readings in there.
Yeah, there's some. There's a the funny again. This is part of whenever you do an investigation in a public place like this. Look at that. Ooh. 23, 24, 23, 24, 23.6, 24. All right, so over here, 24 degrees Celsius. Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
But we've only been going for about 20 minutes here.
I know, it's flying by too. It's flying by. We've nearly been live for an hour. That's something. Did T get goose? No, honey, I didn't get. That's my wife, everybody. Twitch Mom's my wife. And
also,
no,
another thing about investigating in a public place, and T gets very excited. So I have to remind him, like inside voice, T. Inside voice.
Right.
Something just fell.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna find out.
It was a spooky.
It was a spooky. Oh, it's my phone.
Yeah.
It was a spooky
What's we dropping?
All right.
I will tell you this: that Rev 9 goes through you like
Rev 3.
Rev 3.
Rev 3.
You know why? Because Rev 9 is a band. That's why there was a band called Rev 9. So I'm gonna go in the bathroom again. And I'm gonna take care of that, and then what I'm gonna do? I'm do a little experiment. I'm gonna go into the other room for a few minutes. Just get into like a meditative state there in the dark.
Oh, so you're gonna go back? You're gonna go back?
Go back there. I'm just gonna close my eyes and
Do your
sit there, and I'm gonna do my thingy thing
Do
and
your thing.
see if I can't draw anything
Well,
to
see,
the space.
and
Though
again,
I do feel like we're not alone in here right now.
the room does not feel as flat as it did when we were in at the end of Belgrove.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel at present. It doesn't feel as active as Belgrove, but it's definitely.
Well, I'll tell you this though, I'm not crazy about opening this door into the dark bathroom right now.
Oh wait, you're going to you're going into the bathroom.
To go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
That was weird.
Yeah. Well, one of the things you gotta know, chat, and you can kind of see it in the bathroom door when Phil opens it. some of these doors are the original doors of the asylum. So you're going to these different rooms and you're seeing these doors that had these little, those little portals that people would look in to check in on the mental patients. And well, let's be frank, they're just kind of painted over and sealed shut, and you're just like, you're not noticing that? So, yeah, the founder of Planned Parenthood, big proponent of eugenics. The eugenics program, which got off the ground in the 30s with the Nazis, can also be considered an outgrowth of the ideas these people were promoting. You have to assume these people weren't just pure cruelty and that they had good intentions, just road to hell and all that. Well, that's the thing, Dan. The original person who founded the Western State Asylum, in all fairness, he did have good intentions, and he started off great, and the institution started off great. The downside was that when Desjardins took over, he took it in a very, very different route. And this is what Desjardins said in 32.
It's very dark in that room.
Yeah. In 32, Desjardins opened a self-supporting semi-private mental hospital for middle-income patients adjacent to Western State, which the General Assembly named the Desjardins State Sanatorium after him. In 33, when Adolf Hitler rose to power as Chancellor of Germany and instituted the world's most ambitious eugenics program, Desjardins closely watched its progress and wrote favorably of the Nazi eugenics program. In 34, he begged the General Assembly to broaden the scope of Virginia's sterilization law. The Germans, Desjardins complained, are beating us at our own game and are more progressive than we are. I mean, that is just... There's no good intention behind that, Dan. There is no good intention behind that.
No.
And this guy was a freaking monster. And it's like a lot of places when they start off with great intentions, but then when the new people kind of take the reins from the people who originally ran it, they go, well, how can we cut corners? How can we do things more efficiently? And then it kind of goes downhill from there. But one of the things that, going back to paranormal investigation, one of the things that you have to do when you're asking the questions, when you're making comments, you'll notice that Phil and I will ask a question, or we'll say something, and then we wait. You don't want to just flood an area with questions.
Right.
You want to give it a chance to get a response, whether it's recorded, whether it is. You want to wait for a reaction, but there's got to be that moment. It's a waiting game. It's a real waiting game.
Mm-hmm. And for a waiting game, it is remarkable at how fast time goes by.
Yes. Yeah.
It's unprecedented. It is wild. It is absolutely.
And I don't mind saying it either. It's the truth. When you feel something going on, there's definitely a charge in the air. There's this real energy, and it's a little overwhelming at times. But what Phil was talking about was I was in this top balcony area, and I was literally walking from one point to another point, and I swore, because I saw two whopper spiders up there, I swore I'd walked through a cobweb, and I freaked out. Phil comes up and goes, what happened? And I said, well, I walked through a spider web. We didn't see any trace of anything there.
There were no spider webs.
There were no spider webs.
Not in that area at all. No spiders, no webs.
If you imagine a world where you're at even footing with the Nazis, it's almost a certainty you'll make some horrifically bad decisions in the struggle to compete. Yeah, but even back in their day, that's the thing. That's again, Twitch Mom did some preliminary research for us as well, and Twitch Mom even was like, yeah, he wasn't a popular guy, Desjardins.
No, by any stretch.
No, he was not. He had friends in high places, but But yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. There were a lot of graves back there. There were a lot of graves back there.
All right, I'm going into the dark, folks.
Okay. All right. I did get chills for just a little bit, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, I got him right now. I got him right now. There is something happening in this room. Almost finding it physically impossible to take a step.
Phil, if I could do it, you can do
There
it.
we go.
Keep an eye on the temperature. Keep an eye on the temperature, bub. So if there's somebody in here with us, there are two ways you can let us know you're here. One is in the room with Phil. It's that single light you see across from Phil in the room. You get close to that, you can make it beep. Or you can come to the blue lights out here and you can make them go off again.
Who is in here with me right now? I can feel you in here with me, but I need you to give me any kind of sign that you're here. Now, I'm not going to be able to hear your voice unless you use a lot of energy. But if you go to that red light, here, I'm going to show you how this works. Watch me very closely. Now, bring my hand close to this. And there was someone here earlier that did a fantastic job with it. You just go like this. And that will light up. Can you please bring your hand close to that red light? Was that your voice just now, speaking to me?
What did you hear, Phil?
I heard a woman's voice.
There are some people socializing outside. Just to be aware of that.
Yeah, because I heard those voices when I came in.
Yeah.
This was different. Was that you trying to speak to me?
Are you a nurse? Did you work for Desjardins? Did you think he was a misunderstood genius?
That was me.
Okay. I just got chills over here. Trying to see if I'm near I'm near a vent. But it did feel a little chillier in here just now.
Dr. Stridley, are you here with us tonight? Can you please come forward? We patiently ask you to please give us a sign.
I just heard the refrigerator kick on. Sometimes the appliances work against you in this process, chat.
Can you come close to that red light, please? Did you stomach just make a noise, Steve?
Did my what?
Your stomach?
No.
Okay, I heard a weird noise in this area.
If my stomach could be heard in that room, that's pretty damn impressive. So no, it wasn't that. Dr. Joseph Desjardins, are you here tonight? I know administration spent a lot of time here. Are you here with us right now? If there is someone here, go to that blue light. Let us know you're here. Give us a sign, please. You made that light go green earlier, right before we went to lights out. Can you do it again? Please. So Dan asks, what part of the building are we in? Was it the room cells or something different? And what we have figured out is that
I believe this was a female.
This was the female wing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if there's someone here with us, I've got these balls that light up. You just have to gently touch them. They're very easy to interact with if you don't drop or break them.
So Dan, we're in actually we're in a suite, but when we walked into the street, we figured out very quickly these were actually two cells that have just been joined together.
Yeah, and the original doors are here, and one of the doors actually has the metal slat that they would slide over to peer out.
It's sealed.
Or peer in, I guess.
Yeah.
It's all sealed, but it is all original. And just to think of the hands that likely rested upon these doors is pretty astounding.
Oh, so you do have a grid here.
Really good. I just have to. It resets
Yikes.
itself back to disco.
Oh.
So,
I was gonna say
No,
that's not the grid I remember.
let's see if I can remember how to make it stop doing that.
I mean, it's hypnotic. Yeah, that's great. It's nice, but it's not.
Motor stop.
There you go.
And then, there we go.
It is amazing, chat, how good Phasmophobia as a game is, because it's clear they did a lot of research into how paranormal
There you go.
investigations
You
done.
summoned me now. What? Okay, so we are.
I see you, Twitch Mom.
We are fairly certain there's someone here with us, and maybe it's confusing because it sounds like we're not just talking to you, but we're talking to other people. So maybe for a few minutes, we're just going to focus on you. So I placed 2 balls on the ground, and all you have to do is just tap them, and they will light up. There's a red light in the other room. All you have to do is bring your hand near it, and we'll know that you're here. You don't have to be shy or afraid.
And there is a blue light in this room as well that you can touch, get close to, and let us know you're here. We're not asking for you to perform parlor tricks. We just want to make sure you're here, and we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Please speak to us. We want to share your story with others. And that was my fun again.
Catherine Smith. We're pretty sure that you might have lived on this floor. You were admitted as a patient very early on. You were young, and 61 years later, you died here.
Mm.
So once you came to this place, Catherine Smith, you never left. Are you still here, Catherine Smith?
That was the refrigerator.
No, that was not the refrigerator.
Okay.
That was the floor.
That was the floor.
Catherine Smith, did you just move in this room? Can you give us a sign that you're here? Please give us a sign. If you need energy, we have a lot of devices in here where you can draw a little bit of energy from. But you don't have to be afraid. I do feel like I just saw a shadow move across part of the grid. Like between the door frame and where the wall puts out there.
Okay.
I'm really sensing a very strong presence, and maybe it's not Catherine Smith. Maybe you knew Catherine Smith? Please give us a sign. Martha Saul. Martha Saul, are you with us? You were admitted to this institution in 1864. You lived here for 27 long years, and you died here in 1891 on Christmas Day.
Oh, man.
Martha Saul, did you die alone? We're so sorry. It must have been so hard to be here all those years. But we won't let people forget about your story. Or if there's some other patient here with us, we're reaching out to you as well. And we may not know your name, but we won't let your story be forgotten either. And if you could just let us know that you're here, we can tell others.
We don't want you to think you're forgotten. We don't want you to think that you didn't matter. We don't want you to think that we've come here meaning harm. We come here in reverence. We come here in respect. And we want to talk to you and hear your story. So please feel free. Give us a sign. We've given you many ways to communicate with us. There is no reason now to be afraid. None whatsoever. We want to talk to you. Step near that blue light. Or if you're in the other room, step towards that red light. Let us know you're here, please.
And we'll give you a few minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll all sit here quietly for a few minutes.
Yep.
Feels very quiet here right now.
It does. It
I feel
feels
like the energy's gone down a bit.
It's silence is still pretty. It's still pretty. It reminds me of the silence on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chad, if you're curious, we actually went walking through the first floor. Twitch Mom went through it earlier today, and she was not comfortable on the first floor, on the very first floor. And they have some rooms down there, but it's pretty much a long hallway. And there's some stuff that's been sealed up and painted over on the first floor. It's a little sus. Little sus, everybody.
Yeah.
So, it may seem like, oh, okay, so paranormal investigation is a lot of sitting in silence and waiting. Well, actually, yeah.
It is. It's quite peaceful and relaxing.
Yeah.
For those waiting moments.
Yeah.
But that can change in a heartbeat.
It really can. One of the things you got to remember when you watch the stuff on the Discovery Channel, when you watch the stuff on the Travel Channel, whether you're watching the classic Ghost Hunters or whether you are watching Ghost Adventurers or Destination Fear, that's a greatest hits reel. This is the stuff that you don't see. And right now, that is a great analogy. Bell basically said it's like fishing.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Only we're fishing for paranormal activity. Oh, Twitch Mom also said didn't like the stairs.
Yeah.
Didn't like the stairs.
It's
Which is quite telling.
It's undeniable that there is an energy here that cannot be painted over.
No.
I mean, you can see it just looking at the doors are
The
ominous.
doors are just. I mean, we took pictures of the doors, chat. We're gonna post these. It's ridiculous. It's like they honestly thought, well, we'll just paint over these and it'll be fine. I'm like, no, it's kind of like a sore thumb.
Yeah, you should have replaced the doors.
You really should have replaced the doors. There's this, when you look at the pictures before the renovations, there was this spiral staircase that had this very weird, ominous feel to it. And we've climbed that spiral staircase twice. You noticing something? Did you see some movement?
I saw some movement in there.
Do you want to point the grid towards the back?
Maybe.
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, sit like on the floor.
I would say.
The thing is, I would have to move it in there.
Yeah, I think you do need to move it in there. I think you need to put the grid in that room.
Okay.
'Cause that's the second time, and we're just not seeing it.
Yeah.
I have to use the little paranormal investigators right now. So.
Okay. So I'll wait here.
Okay.
Let me know how it is opening that door. A little spooky, right?
Oh, that's not cool. No, that is not cool at all.
Yeah,
That's
that
like
was-
pitch black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but then when you get the grid in here, it's kind of like a disco ball.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, no, that sucks balls.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, gang, is I'm gonna relocate the REM pod further into the room where I thought I had seen some movement. I'm gonna adjust the sensitivity of the device as well, and see if that makes any kind of difference. Find my flashlight so we can see what I'm doing. Flashlight in the other room. Nope, right here. That's me, T.
Is that you?
That's me. Okay. I've moved the device a little deeper into the room. About where it was earlier when we had some things happening with it. We'll see. Again, we wait. If you're back in that room by the door, please approach the red light. Decide to move the REM pod a little further. Back.
So you're not going to point the grid.
I'll
in
wait
here.
to do that, yeah. So,
Just for anybody who's here right now, I just want to go ahead and show you what you can do here. I'm just going to get close. I don't even have to touch this. Right? So feel free to do that. If you want to do that, let us know you're here. Hey, Maestro, good to have you in chat. I had friends over in the shop helping me test bows. At one point, told about thinking, I said, hang on a sec, I gotta go visit the little guardian's room. I didn't even attempt to explain. It's nice to know I have an effect on people, Randy. So I take it nothing happened in the brief break.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
All right.
In fact, I'm gonna use the restroom. See if something happens while you're in here on.
All right.
Because I have to go.
Look, well, there you go. So right now, this paranormal investigation is being powered by Rev 3 energy drink, courtesy of Rev 3 dude themselves, Nick Kelly. And I'm telling you, it's just going straight through us. Going straight through us, everybody. We want to know your story. We want to know if you're okay. Is there anything Phil and I can do to help you? We want to help you. That was why you came here in the first place. Correct?
I could have sworn I just heard a voice say, yeah.
Okay, because I just got even before you opened the door, I just got severe chills. And the question I'd asked while you were in there was, does anybody need help?
Yeah. All right, we're going to do an experiment here.
All right.
Please stand by.
Please stand by. It is a very, to me, and this is where I think Phasmophobia really does get it right. There's a lot of tension, just a lot of waiting, chat. A lot of, okay, we're just going to hang tight, we're going to hang tight, we're going to hang tight. And sometimes things happen, when we did our first one in Belgrove, we actually heard a door rattle after we asked for a sign. And I tried to explain it away as, well, maybe it was the neighbors. And it was actually around this time. It was 1 a.m. And Phil was like, no, we saw our neighbors. They were way too old to be up at this time of night.
Is that silver case by you?
What?
The silver case.
Oh, by me right now?
Yeah.
It's right. It's right here at your feet.
Oh, okay.
One of the things, though, you have to be careful, though, is when you start feeling the chills. Because I remember one time Phil was like, I'm feeling a chill right now. And I said, sit tight, Phil. And then I walked behind him, and sure enough, there was a vent, and I put my hand on it, and I could feel the draft coming in. I was like, yeah, chill. That chill is not supernatural, it's carrier.
Yeah.
So
you always gotta, and that's why it's always beneficial to have a partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone to validate or
or
debunk
question
your experience.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I will tell you, Chat, that you don't see is that there's a vent up here and a vent here. And in the bathroom, it is particularly chilly. But that is not, there's nothing supernatural about that. There are at least 3 different vents in the bathroom.
Yeah. Shrinkage.
Yeah, shrinkage. Okay, Dragon, thanks again. Hey, thanks for coming to raid, and thank you for being here. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was at least a little educational. Thank you very much for being there. Good night. Good night.
Powering on.
So we're going to do a little spirit box session.
Ooh. Okay.
This will be a little more interactive for you guys out here. You're going to hear stuff. I can't say that we're going to get anything off this device tonight, but why not? sweet baby Joe.
And he says I need to be quiet. He said I need to be quiet.
Let's see.
God, I hope you didn't
Please
pick up the
stand by.
neighbors across the way.
There we go.
It's still cute.
Okay. And along
I'm
here.
going to take it down another decibel.
Yeah. Okay. We are on. And, okay.
Damn, just went loud, bro.
It just said light. When you turn that flashlight on, I shit you not. Is there anyone here with us right now? Scott? Or stop? Are we bothering you? Was that a yes? Is there anything you would like to say to us? Are there any former patients here with us? Were you a patient of Dr. Desjarnet's?
Were you an orderly? Were you a nurse? Were you a doctor?
Is there a message you have for us?
Are we welcome here?
Was this your room? How about get much?
Yeah.
So T has yet to have a compelling spirit box experience.
I hope I'm not.
I've had several.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm hoping I'm not being the stick in the mud when it comes to the spirit box. I really want the spirit box to work for me.
yeah.
It's been kind of a hit or miss with that. Phil's determined.
I'm determined.
And I'm not giving up on the spirit box just yet. We just have to know that it's not going to be the same experience that you get in Phasmo.
Mm-mm.
Definitely not the same kind of experience. Definitely not.
So I'm seeing the clock. It says 1:08.
108.
T and I talked about
Going mobile.
going mobile.
Because of, as many of you know, we did a test stream earlier today, and we have actually very good Wi-Fi that allows us to actually take this operation and go mobile with it.
Yeah, and there are some incredibly spooky
Very
spots.
spots, yeah.
And the nice thing is, thanks to mobile technology, we can be fairly subtle about creeping about
Yeah.
on these places where they probably
Don't
would
want us
rather
to.
us
Yeah,
not be.
exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so I'm feeling like maybe it's almost time
is
for
it,
that.
Is it almost
yeah.
time for that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is, and we'll keep the stream going while we prep ourselves.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna turn off some of the recorders. I'm probably only gonna bring, for me it's a small number. I'm only gonna bring 2 digital recorders with me.
I'm going to probably go on ahead and bring the H4n, which you saw me
Yep, I think that's great.
prime up there. I'm also going to bring my, obviously I'm going to bring my phone, and I'm going to use the Steadicam that I have, the handheld Steadicam.
Because it's steady.
Yeah, because it's very steady.
She's steady.
And we're not going to go into the graves like we did earlier when our wives were here. I think we're going to just stick with, just going into, we're going to be going into the direction, and we're just going to stay there, and we're not necessarily going to go into the property, if you will.
Right.
We're just gonna try some EVPs in that area.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part, as you all saw in the earlier stream, if you saw the earlier stream, when you're doing outdoor investigations are always tricky because you're dealing with so much outside stimulus. Kat, they are back home. They went on ahead, and they basically are going to, they went home. So it's just the two of us flying solo right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I will keep these streams open right now. My stream will be off for this portion once we head out. So those of you that are on my stream right now, you might want to start thinking about hopping over to the T-Monsters stream. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is, we'll keep our equipment live in here, and I'm going to record locally to see if we capture anything.
Okay.
In this room.
Do that.
Okay, so I'm going to kick the light on in that room so I can see what I'm doing.
Right.
But then we'll turn it back off.
And Chad, I'm going to sit here patiently because I remember at the very beginning of the stream, Chad, at the very beginning, just as we were getting ready to do lights out, that flux device went off. I'm trying to figure out what we can do to convince whatever's with us tonight to just go on ahead and just give that device a nudge. I would take it with me, but the problem with taking it with me is that to make the flux work, you have to have it on a flat surface. It has to be on a flat surface. And when I took it to the graveyard with Pip, finding a flat surface was a lot trickier than I expected it to be. A lot trickier. Don't know how to tell you, Pip, but I think our daughter is still awake. I just got a notification that she liked one of my posts, and I think it was the post on that we were going live tonight. Yeah, it was. So what?
I'm just going to keep those
Oh.
recorders running. Laser grid.
Laser grid.
Actually, I'll just keep the laser grid on, even though it's not going to be picked up by the IR. But that's okay. That way I don't have to reset it when we come back.
Excuse me, everybody.
Tell them what time you got up today.
Do what?
Tell them what time you got up today.
Yeah, it's been a pretty long day. I got up at 5:30, chat, so I could make it for a 6 o'clock run.
That's me, by the way.
That's the booty.
That's the booty.
That's the
Cat,
booty.
You're still on. That's the booty.
That's the booty. And Nico says he loves the door. I'm like, yeah, Nico, the door.
Yeah, I don't know how much we'll be loving the door when it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it either. I'm not
I'm a
feeling
little
it
nervous
either.
about bedtime, if I'm honest.
I mean, when we had the REM pod in the other room, it was going off on occasion, and I was like, okay, well then Phil's not going to be. He's going to be bunking with me tonight because nope. So Bella's asking how long are we going to go on for tonight? Well, I think we're feeling pretty ambitious.
Yeah,
We're feeling a little ambitious. We might stick it out till 3 a.m.
yeah,
We might stick it out till 3 a.m.
yeah. I think that sounds
And
doable.
it's feeling pretty ambitious, to say the least.
Because before we close tonight, I want to do one Estes session each.
Oh, really? I'm assuming back here.
Yeah, back here.
Yes.
Oh. You bet your ass back here.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Then.
So we got good moonlight. So I'll bring the flashlight just in case.
But so yeah, Chad, I was actually. Am I going to have to put on the coffee? I'm putting on coffee. That was Nico. So Nico, yeah. The thing is, Nico, that I started the day at 5:30 in the morning, and it's funny. It's one of those things where part of me wants to feel bad, but I don't. I was running, and my running partner was several paces ahead of me, and we came up on this one couple, an older couple, and I knew the guy was going to crack the joke, and I was like, please don't crack this joke, not this morning. I'm not in the mood for it. And as I'm running by, he says, "You can still catch her," and I bit this poor sod's head off. I was just like, look, you try running at 6.67 miles. And, while walking your dog, and I tell you what, then come back to me and talk to me about catching up with her. And I must have really snapped at this guy because my partner said to me, he was kidding, right, T? And I said, I don't care. I was not in the mood for it. So yeah, my day started with a 7-mile run, and I've been going strong since. So really working hard to get through tonight, to get through this investigation. But has it been worth it? Yeah, it's been worth it. It's been worth it.
It's been an amazing day.
Yeah,
it's been an amazing.
We've had some pretty interesting situations occur. Like I said, we at the very beginning of the stream. For those of you who might have missed it, there is this power plant. This now abandoned power plant across from this. Hey, Electric, how you doing? But it's a power plant located on the opposite side of where we're staying. That's the booty. And we were behind it doing an EVP session, and there was something not pleasant back there. There was something
100%.
not pleasant back there.
100%. The battery's not in this.
Oh, hey, no problem there, Electric. Thanks for popping in and saying hey. We appreciate it. I think I'm going to use the little investigator's room one more time, and then I'm going to set up the next bit of gear that I wanted to share with everybody. Just kind of show off the gear and say, this is what we're working on. And then literally you'll see me start up a brand new stream within I don't know, maybe at the most 5-10 minutes. And this will be part 2. It'll be part 2 of the investigation. And we'll see how far we can go. But you know what? Just to kind of give everybody a little bit of of scope, we've been going for 2 hours, and that's not too shabby. We've been going for 2 hours on the stream, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. Yeah, well, that's the upside downside of Rev 3 Dude's magic elixir. It keeps you going, but the way it keeps you going is that it goes right through you.
Right.
And
We've been peeing a lot.
and there's also that's also one of the problems though.
We've been peeing a supernatural amount.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out over here on the Phil Rossi stream. I'm cutting the stream now. Pick it up on the T-Monsters stream, and we will catch you live via our late night explorations.
So Phil, along with the H4A, what else do you think we should take?
So I'm taking 2 digital recorders, EMF, camera.
So check. Here's the setup for the second half of this stream. So you'll see chat. Oh, actually, you'll see this on Phil's stream, or you're off stream?
I'm offline.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll go on here and put it here. So chat, you should be able to see it. I've got this.
Well, here.
We're just gonna turn the lights on.
Hello.
Okay. Whew, that was a little scary. So anyway, chat. This is a Steadicam, and what I do is I have to make sure that my phone is out of its case because it's balanced for that. So once I do that, I go on ahead and I power this up, and now I have a Steadicam for my phone. And what I'm going to do is set up on my phone my Streamlabs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and let's see. We're going to select Twitch, and we're going to go on ahead and I'm just going to set up the Ghost Hunt Part 2. And literally within a moment or two, we're going to start up the second half. That's literally how it's going to go. All right.
We're going to be quiet in the comments, but we will start.
We'll start it.
Chat once we get outside.
Yeah, once we get outside. Okay. This is the second half of the paranormal investigation hosted by the Don't Turn Around podcast. Period. We hope you enjoy the closing of this amazing evening. Period. Yep, that works. Oh, I don't want to say that works.
It works.
We're getting a little slap at it.
Okay. And
All right, everybody.
You didn't hit go live yet. Just
No, you're not going to hit go live yet.
Okay.
All right.
Set these back up.